whole health history and then take you through 2 equipment orientations, either get used to the equipment or personalize some workouts for you and kind of get you help set up on a program to begin with.
Yeah, well, Russ was in there in the hospital for 5 weeks, and he didn't want the physical therapist to come to the room, and he wanted to go down and work down there, which was to his benefit. It really was, because he had to get out of the bed and walk with help, but he went down there and worked in there, and it was so much better for him.
And that's one of my favorite perks is in building. So the building's almost split in half, where half of it is the gym, and then half of it is Henry Mayo's physical therapy. And so we get to work with their amazing physical therapists and amazing team with a lot of different people, where I've had a couple clients of my own where they're doing physical therapy at the same time. And the physical therapist is like, they're cleared to do X, Y, and Z with us, but they need to do all these other things to take care of themselves. And so I'll do the fitness program, and then they do the physical therapy for them. And it's just worked out really well for those people.
Oh, yeah, it did. Well, Russ was 87 at the time, and he did nothing but sit in the chair at home. And the doctor recommended that he needed to have full-time care.
Can you give us some stories? You say we're doing good, and how do you describe that with the people you're impacting?
I probably shouldn't name names of people.
You don't have to name names, but you can give a first name and go.
There's just some people you see. They come in and they. We have an individual came over from like the cardiac rehab program, and we run a cardiac maintenance program, and they came in and were very ho-hum about a lot of things and kind of felt mentally restricted on what they'd be able to ever do again since they've had this heart attack and gone through rehab. And now they're out, like walking around every day. They've made like a lot of friends, and they play pickleball all the time, and they've just found other ways to stay active in a community to be a part of. And so you get to see people who either something happened or a physician said, hey, you are limited in these ways, and then we help them learn that there's other ways to move and do exercise and have fun doing it, and then their attitude changes. Or people who are coming off of injuries or rehab or whatever it may be, and getting that quality of life back. We have one gentleman who comes in every day. He's like, Henry Mayo and this fitness center saved my life, and he just says it every day. And so that's very rewarding in a job and in a career to be able to hear that. And I'm like, I didn't save you. Like, you saved yourself. You did the work, but it's still very rewarding.
You were there to assist, though.
Yeah, and so
that's what makes your job so valuable.
Yeah, so I love hearing that stuff, and the fitness world is a very rewarding world for that reason. And I just find even more so here because there's people who have genuine needs to continue their life, to extend their life, to have a better quality of life, and I get to kind of help them along on that journey, which is super fun.
Wow, and you're the director of the program.
Yeah, so I started off as just one of our coaches, lifestyle specialist, and then I make the joke that everyone else left and they just promoted me, and so I've been director since 2020 now.
And you have a number of staff.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different things going on. So our main staff is our lifestyle specialists. So those are all our coaches. We have about 10 of those. We have the main kind of big role is Ben. He's our clinical integration coordinator, and he plays liaison between us and the hospital, and he heads all of the clinical programs. So all the things that we offer for like the clinical population or older population, Ben is in charge of like making that happen. And then we have group exercise classes like Zumba, Tai Chi, HIIT training, strength conditioning, spin classes. We have massage therapists. We have 4 different massage therapists. We have private Pilates studio. We do sport performance for mostly youth athletes. There's a lot of different things going on.
You also have chair exercises, don't you?
Yeah, we have like a sit to be fit class. Like a lot of our classes are made. What I tell people is like, we're just a gym with a clinical integration aspect to it. So a lot of people are there just for the gym, and they like how clean it is or how professional it is or whatever it may be, or they just like the color blue maybe. But a lot of people are there for stuff like that. And so a lot of our classes, a lot of our equipment is all geared to be easily accessible, lower impact for the most part, and then we just have like the variety in there. We offer a lot of the higher intensity stuff, but our main identity and our main niche is kind of helping those people.
Do you have a large number of seniors who
Yeah.
come in there?
So we've got a younger demographic that's been coming in probably since the pandemic, I want to say. But our average age has always been 55 and older. And it was that way before, and it still is, as that's kind of the main age demographic we have. The way I always explain is my parents never like going to a gym, and they're not out of shape. They're very active people, but they're just like, we don't feel comfortable in a gym, and they came to the gym and felt comfortable. And to me, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
And your gym is beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I think it's gorgeous. We have a cleaning guy, Ricardo. We have one cleaning guy, Ricardo, and he just keeps it spotless. It's amazing.
And I never thought, thinking all that Henry Mayo does to have the room to throw in a fitness center, to throw in everything else, it's just like, wow,
Yeah.
a lot to offer.
Yeah, it really is. And I noticed you have a helmet over there.
Yeah.
Did you drive a motorcycle here?
Yes, I did. That's a recent thing in the last year. A lot of decisions behind that of just, I don't have a very long commute because I live really close. I live in Santa Clarita. I grew up in Santa Clarita. And so I live close to work, so that's really nice. And then it saves a lot of money, actually, to be honest.
That's great. So we have a hometown person
Oh,
leading the
yes.
fitness center at Henry Mayo. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Well, I've been on a motorcycle all my life practically. Russ and I went all over the United States on motorcycles. He had a Honda 1000, and I used to sit on the back of it. And I kept having to look like this to see everything around me. And I thought, this is ridiculous. So he bought me a Honda 750. And I rode that, and we took off all over the United States. Absolutely incredible.
It
really was.
That's fun. That's how my wife feels right now. She'll sit on the back, and I'm like, was that fun? She's like, well, not as much for me. I was like, okay, let's just go get you one then.
Did you buy her one?
No, not yet.
No.
She doesn't want one. She doesn't necessarily want one. I did.
But
She encouraged me. She told me to go get it.
We're not going to get into family therapy.
No, we
here,
don't get
Barbara.
into all that.
Can I go bring you back to Henry Mayo? Because I have a
Yeah, well,
question.
you have bicycles at Henry Mayo in the fitness center.
Yeah, we have a whole spin room,
Yes.
and then we have a bunch of just exercise bikes on the floor. Like I said, you walk in, and it's laid out very much like most to all other gyms. And so that's why one of the hardest parts when we first opened up was the understanding of how do you become part of the gym. And I'm like, well, you can just walk in and sign up. You don't have to be in the hospital. Like, we have these programs for those people, but you can just walk in, sign up, become a member, and join. We have complimentary group exercise classes that people can join. We have those programs for people, but you don't have to be a part of any of them. And again, a lot of our people just come in and are gym members.
So it's open to the public.
Open to the public. That's
Okay.
a better way of saying it. I use more words.
No, I'm not sure people know that. I think that's an
Yeah.
important point that to go
That's-
check it out
That's true.
and see if it's an option for you and your family.
Yeah.
And it's also a very important part of treatment for patients at the hospital who need that treatment and who, if they are dismissed, they won't go to the gym.
Right.
But if they're there,
Right.
the gym is there for
And they feel
them.
comfortable in their hometown gym, so to speak.
That's- Yes.
What about, I know you have a special event coming up about trips and falls or a special class.
So we have a program called our Fall Prevention Program. So we started that, ironically, last fall of 2024.
Okay, we're going with this one, right?
Kind of built up to that point with some other things, and then made it an official program. So one of the biggest thing you see for seniors is the risk of falls, and
Oh,
it's
tell me about it.
there was a billboard, I don't remember, on Soledad somewhere like a number of
Yes.
years ago, where it was, I always remember it was a foot stepping down on stairs, and it was like a toy on the stair, and it was
Yes.
like all it takes is like one fall or something like that. I don't even remember what the billboard was for. I just always remember it. And it's just true. Like, I've worked with people who were active athletes, active individuals, had one fall, even in like as early as like early mid 30s, and then everything just went down from there, where they couldn't be active, they couldn't move, and then different health problems started occurring. So falls are just a big risk for just like quality of life and health. And so we started this fall prevention program as a means to kind of combat some of that. We do it in like a small group setting. Ben, our clinical integration coordinator, leads it. We have Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings at 4 o'clock a group, and then a Tuesday, Thursday in the afternoon at 1 p.m., I believe is 1 p.m. Yeah. And so you just kind of sign up for that group, and it's guided for 1 hour. It just helps with a lot of different things. We do strength training because there's two kind of major aspects. There's the proprioceptive side. Proprioceptive is kind of think of your nerve system or your awareness of where your limbs are in space is the technical definition of it. So being able to be aware of where, if you're going to put your foot off a step, are you aware where the ground is? If you're going to take a weird step, move a weird way, turn a weird way, are you going to be able to kind of know where you're at? And then the strength side of if you're going to trip, does your body have enough strength to catch itself, to prevent the fall, to react quick enough and the muscles to fire and contract quick enough to stop that from happening? So all of that gets kind of worked on within that hour, just to kind of help people move better and not fall.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what my kids are always telling me. Mother, slow down, because I have a tendency to get up and go. I've always been that way. But, you know, with what I've gone through the last 10 years with cancer and what have you, it's really taken its toll on my body.
Right.
And I don't walk as well as I used to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm fine with a walker. I'll go flying around the house and walk with the walker. And then I went to the walking sticks. I had 2 of those, and now I'm off the walking sticks. So I'm walking by myself. But I still have to be careful and watch where I'm going.
And are these classes, is it a series of classes that you go to, just one class for fall prevention? How does that work?
So it's whereas like we have our group exercise classes that come complimentary to the membership, you just kind of show up and they're always going on.
Okay.
The fall prevention program is when you sign up for, so you'll sign up with a group. So everyone's doing either 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times a week in the program. So it all depends on kind of ability to join.
Gotcha.
So we have different costs based off of how frequent you're going a week, but it is like, hey, we're signing up for this. So like the Tuesday, Thursday group we added because the Monday, Wednesday, Friday started getting fuller, and we're looking at adding another time as well because those ones are starting to fill up. I think we have about 16 to 20 people currently in the program overall.
Well, how do you help them keep from falling? What type do you do in an exercise or?
Yeah, so it's all exercise based, and that's where I went into like there's the proprioceptive training and the strength training. So there's an aspect of kind of mobility and coordination that happens near the beginning. Most of it is done on our feet, so standing and working on kind of left brain, right brain activity and making sure we can kind of know where things are moving when they're moving. So I always love how everyone looks at like agility ladders for athletes. So like they're only for athletes. We use them tons and tons with our population because of the coordination of just taking the step with right leg, left leg, right leg, and training to pick your feet up and having to coordinate the different patterns. I always joke with my clients that it's like a Sudoku for your body, where you have to train your brain to physically do these things. And then once that's all kind of integrated, then we do like different weight training, body weight strength training to build up and keep those muscles healthy.
And you want to stop that shuffling, which so many seniors fall into, is the shuffle of the feet instead of picking up. Am I right?
Very much. And that's the strength aspect of, can you pick up your feet? Do you have the strength in your hip flexors? Do you have the elasticity in your calf and ankle? Does your muscles move the way they need them to? And again, can they react the way you need them to? So trying to work on all those things. That's why it's kind of an ongoing program to continue to work on that stuff.
And it's also important for when men and women use walkers that they have those handles up high enough so that they're standing up straight instead of like this.
Yeah.
because that'll ruin your body.
Oh yeah.
You need to stand up straight. And that's where I'm sure a lot of these exercise equipments there help that.
Oh yeah. Posture plays a huge role in your body being able to be coordinated.
Oh, yeah.
If your posture is not well aligned, it's going to throw a lot of things off because different muscles and different body parts compensate for certain ones not moving well. So if I am bending over and have too much of a slouch, I'm going to have tightened muscles one place and weak muscles another place, and it's going to throw things off.
Wow, that's great. Sounds like a great program over there.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, and they have a lot of
It
fun
is.
doing it too. Our coaches make it fun and interactive because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to show up, and if you don't show up, you're not going to get the benefit of it.
That's exactly
gotta show up.
right. Oh, boy,
That's good.
that's really, really basic.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're so glad you found your calling at Henry Mayo and this incredible program that you guys all started in 2016 and continues to go forward. And again, a first-class gym, but you also say you got your clinical part right next door. That brings it all together for the community. So, Russell, why don't you wrap it up for us and just give us your name, your title, and how can we get more information?
Yeah, again, name is Russell Gage, fitness director at Henry Mayo Fitness and Health. What was the second part you asked?
How do we join? How do we join? Where do we get more information?
Walk in the doors, come get a tour, check it out. That is the best advice I can give you. Google us, find the address, come in. There will be someone who says hi to you before you take 3 steps in through the door, and we'll give you a tour of the whole place.
That's great. So we need to take a break now. I'm Kevin McDonald with my co-host, Barbara Cochran, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Kevin McDonald.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And our next guest is on his way here, and it's Bradley Gross from the Santa Clarita Grocery. So in the meantime, let's talk about what's going on at the Senior Center.
Sure, Barbara. Lots going on
Oh,
all the
lots.
time.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I tell you, we are getting ready. This is Wednesday. We're getting ready for a big concert on Saturday. We have sold out again. This is the 61st sold out concert at the Senior Center that we started in 2020, and this is a tribute band to Johnny Cash. So Johnny Cash tribute band will be in the house. Jason is a great guy who I know well, and he's going to be singing his heart out for us on Saturday night, and we're going to run from 5 to 6:30, and we're just we're going to fill it with 400 people. We are sold out and sold out quickly on this one.
That place is going to be packed.
Yes, and that's what we want. And we
Yes.
just want people to come together, to get out in the community in a safe, wonderful environment, to hear some good music. And we only charge $10 to get in. It costs us a lot more than that.
Oh, my goodness.
But we want to make it accessible to seniors so they don't have an
Yes.
excuse for saying, I can't get out to see a good concert.
Yeah,
And
'cause I
in
can't afford
And
it.
because of the heat this week, of course, we're going to be in the air-conditioned Bella Vita Ballroom. So we are going to be comfortable as we can make it with 400 people in a room.
That's still going to be close.
Yep, that's going to be good. And then we have this is July. In August, we have a tribute band to Jimmy Buffett, which is one of my favorites. So we'll be doing that in August. You can check our website coming up next week, and it'll be tickets will be on sale at that website for a tribute to Jimmy Buffett. We haven't had them before, and we look forward to listening to that.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of things going on at the
Yeah, but
Senior
they try to
Center.
keep it bouncing over there.
My goodness, but there's groups that get together and meet. What are some of the groups you have?
We have as you know, you're involved with a grieving support group.
Yes.
With our Alzheimer's program and lots of different support groups. And what I think the unknown factor of the Senior Center is we call them care managers. They're social workers. And we employ about 15 of these social workers, and they are just fantastic. I just came from a meeting before I came over here, and they have they tell the stories of what they're dealing with, and the seniors with the most complicated situations you can imagine in your life, and their job as care managers is to solve it for them, and try to figure out what they need in life. Some people are just food dependent. We got someone so desperate last night, we sent a pizza to his house out in Palmdale. Because it was that desperate for the food. So they're bringing out a whole bunch of food today to the person and setting them up on Meals on Wheels. They're dealing with people, who've had still living in tents. We just housed 2 people who were living in tents. One of the fire victims at Altadena was in a tent on his old property, and we were able to get him some housing. So that's what our care managers and our social workers do for some really big, high-profile sometimes situations, and their only goal is to help the seniors and work it out. So
Well, you also have people there who make telephone calls
yes,
to seniors, which is that's a big plus.
it is,
really
and as you
is.
know, it's like a health and wellness check. It's saying, "Hey,
Yes.
Barbara, how are you? How's your day going?"
Exactly.
And what if you are one of the fortunate ones? What if you had no one in your life checking on you? But it may be a senior center care manager who's
That's
calling you
right.
and
That's
checking you out.
right.
So I think
That's right.
I think that's such an important role of that, and they have a funny county name on it, telephone reassurance. But anyone who's getting the Meals on Wheels program gets a couple of calls every single week. And Mary Jane Hartman, who you know well
Oh,
from
yes, my
many times as a
goodness.
volunteer, she comes in a couple times a week and she'll make those phone calls. And she's a nurse by trade. So all of a sudden she's counseling them. And I'm like, I hope you're telling them the right things. But she's working them through all their different issues. And they hear when it's Mary Jane, who's a senior, who's been on our board for many, many years. And
Oh
also
my goodness, yes.
giving her advice, giving her counsel. And that support when you're homebound is really, really important.
Oh, it is. It's very important, and because I'm basically homebound, except my kids come,
Right.
and which I'm very
Well,
fortunate.
you have a great family support
They-
system.
Oh, I do, and they both live in Palmdale,
Mm-hmm.
and now my granddaughter, who used to live with her dad in Palmdale, is now living with me, which is what a difference it makes that someone else is in the house.
Right.
You know, you're not there in this big house, which seems big
Right.
when you're by yourself. You know, no matter how small it is.
Sure.
But it's so comforting to know that there's a human being, a body there,
Right.
and someone that you can count on and trust.
And if you were to get into trouble, who are you going to call? This is like Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call if you get into trouble, or if you have an issue, or if you have a challenge in your life that you're like, I don't know what to do now? You're going to call the senior center
Oh yes, absolutely.
and start that trend. And as you know, everything that we offer, pretty much in the counseling world, is all free. So you're not being charged for that. And if you just want someone to talk to, you can come on over to the senior center and we'll get you someone to talk to that day, because we go through our ups and downs in life, right?
Oh,
And it's
really.
and we all
that's
do,
life.
seniors
That's-
and non-seniors.
That's right. That's life. That's part of living.
Right.
And if we didn't have our ups and downs, we wouldn't be a human being.
Right. Right.
We really wouldn't. Because the downs help you get up, and when you're up, you think, oh my goodness, that really happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And you think, how fortunate I am to be here.
Right.
You know? And that's especially seniors go through a lot of that.
Right. And we need someone to talk to in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and all the way up to 70s and 80s.
Oh,
We need someone to
absolutely.
talk to.
And into the 90s, because
and
I'm
that's
getting very close to those 90s.
Right.
Oh.
But, I think a shout out every day should go to the caregivers, those who are caring for seniors at home. And I just came from a trip where I spent several days with some of the best caregivers I could have ever imagined, who adopted a senior into their home when she was at 90, and she made it till 95. And they took such good care of her and gave her so many laughs and took her out into the community and welcomed her into their family. A distant aunt who they welcomed as part of their family, and to see those caregivers at work, both the husband and wife team doing something made her life special. The last 4 years was amazing.
Absolutely.
So a shout out to those who cared for Aunt and Jerry, because we are so blessed by the different caregivers in our lives.
Yeah. And if getting back to the senior center, if you can get a ride or even Uber, get yourself to the senior
There's
center.
so many ways to get there. The city of Santa Clarita has the best transportation system
They
I've
do.
ever seen.
They do.
And between the dial-a-ride and just all the different services, so call the city or call us, and we'll tell you 4 or 5 different ways to get to the senior center. And Adrian Aguilar is the director for the city over there, and just runs a tight ship. We got one bus route coming in right now. That's been there since we opened. We have another one on the way, I believe. So I don't know anyone that has a problems getting over there. You have to be patient because the different dial-a-ride systems are on different schedules.
That's true.
And sometimes you're hopping on a bus with several people, but they become your friends. So on your way home, you're hanging out just like the old school days with your friends.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, the bus drivers who come into, this doesn't happen anywhere else. They come into the senior center to make sure they find you and look for you and bring you to the bus. The old bus system was, oh, I'm going to stay in my bus, in my driver's seat, and wait for the senior to come out. No, they come in, and we want them to go out and meet them, but still they'll come in chasing them because they might be playing bingo somewhere. or we got to get them out of the playing cards because they're getting absorbed in a car. And it's like, no, the bus is waiting for you. But that's the nature of the relationship we have with the bus companies and the bus driver, and our front desk is, there's nobody better than the front desk at the senior center.
I know. And if most of the time when I go in there, there's 4 or 5 people.
Yes, and that's why
at the
I have to have
desk.
3 staff there.
And
Because
you have 3 people behind that desk.
yes, because Angeline
they-
is there with Irma and Amy, and every day they're like, how can I help you?
Yes,
I couldn't do their
it's
job.
constant.
It's constant gab.
Yes, it is. And we just got a message from Bradley Gross. He will not be attending today.
Okay.
So we'll continue our gab.
That sounds
We got
fine with
lots
us.
to talk
And they
about.
have a great service. Check out Santa Clarita Grocery Food Bank. Check them out online. I checked their stuff out yesterday. Didn't know a whole lot about them. Boy, what a great service to the community.
Have you ever been there?
I have not been there.
Oh, my goodness. You
Bradley's going to
wouldn't-
invite me very soon.
You would not believe that place.
Okay.
It's a warehouse full of food, boxes of food, people putting different foods in the boxes to be delivered to the people. It's an amazing place. It really is. So you will thoroughly enjoy
All right,
your
I will
trip
go over there,
there.
and I want to check it out for the people in need who are hungry in this community as a great resource. And we'll bring Bradley back on another time and make sure we roast him and find out everything we know. They have served, I can give you a little bit on that, 540,000 meals in 2024, 540,000 meals. And they served 8,647 families. That's a lot of stuff going on, and they're all volunteer based.
All volunteers.
With the high school students, and lots of programs for the high school students to volunteer, where high school students are required to volunteer, many of them.
Well, that's true.
I'm going to
And-
send them over to the food. I'm going to send them
and
over there.
It's really a learning experience for teenagers and kids in school. It really
Right.
is. It's a learning experience.
And they got a whole bunch of faith-based partners as well. I mean, what a magical thing. So we got to bring Bradley in. That's Santa Clarita Grocery Food Bank, and check them out. We reviewed their annual report last night. Oh, what a great service to the community.
Oh, it is. It's wonderful. And if you can get yourself over there, do it. I don't have the address. Do you have the address of the warehouse?
No, but you can check it out online. And we can post that as well for KHTS. They're all over KHTS as great
Oh, yeah.
supporters for them. So
That's
anyway,
true.
we will catch up with Bradley at another time. But so much with food insecurity in this world, and we at the senior center, food is one of our major projects, as you know, with nutrition being so key and covering the Antelope Valley and the Santa Clarita Valley.
Well, there are so many seniors who do not have the access to get out. Mm-hmm. They are lodged at home.
Right.
Because a lot of them don't walk. A lot of them are in wheelchairs and can't get out. So it's very, very important.
And
what
we want to
they
make
do.
sure that people know how to access it. If there's a homebound senior, we have to do an assessment because we're supported by the County of Los Angeles.
Right.
And if you're assessed to be truly homebound, then we can get you a meal within 24 hours. And that's a fast response rate. But we need people to come out and reach out to us. We're serving over 500 people every day with our Meals on Wheels program. Meals on Wheels and Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center are the same thing. We just use different names for our meals program. And we're affiliated with Meals on Wheels America, which is an outstanding organization all over the country. All the Meals on Wheels organizations, including us, join them. But anyway,
But we used to be home delivered meals.
it used to be that name. We changed the name
Yes.
because we wanted to be affiliated with the best organization in the country doing Meals on Wheels, and that's Meals on Wheels America. They fight for us in Washington, D.C., fight for the funding. As we continue to fight this year, we still do not have funding for the whole year. So we're continuing to make that argument to fund the Meals on Wheels programs for Santa Clarita for the entire year.
Well, don't you have seniors also who donate?
Yes, we have donations. We're very lucky with the donations, but it doesn't
Yeah.
cover all the expenses,
No,
as you
that's very
as
true.
you can imagine. As a private nonprofit organization, we have a large gap to fill with donations. And this community has been generous in the past, and we hope they continue to be generous in the future to keep our doors open and to keep those meals flowing. We're just very, very fortunate. The city supports us, the county supports us, the state supports us, and the federal government. Still not enough to get all those meals out. When you're doing 1,500 meals a day in Santa Clarita, it's a lot of meals.
Well, people are living longer.
People,
You know?
which is great.
I mean,
But they're living longer with good nutrition.
yes,
And that's
they
what we do
are.
for a living.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know my parents both passed away when they were 70, and when I turned 70, I thought, am I going to die also? You know, with both of my parents dying at 70, and it's just amazing. You
Well,
know,
nutrition's a
it's-
nutrition's a big part of that. I eat the
Oh,
meals there almost every day.
absolutely.
As soon as we're done here, they're saving me a fish fillet, which is back there right now that I'll be going into, and I eat it for my own sense of knowing what we're serving every single day, and that's
Absolutely.
important. But it's also we're certified by the Center for Nutrition Services to make sure our meals are totally nutritious. I would put a lot more cheese on my stuff. I can't because the Center for Nutrition Services is making sure we're keep to the regulations.
That-
So that's
you
what's
can
going on.
always sneak
So
behind-
I would like more French fries. They're not going to let me do it. I argue. I get broccoli instead. I'm like, okay, we'll live with the broccoli instead. But it is about nutrition, and those are those are healthy, good meals that we're serving every day. And I wish I had more
They are.
flexibility, but when our cooks, our great culinary team, our great banquet team serves them, we got to follow those rules, and we do. But we're going to make the best sandwiches, the best meals ever, given our guidelines.
Well, and all the meals that I eat there or that I have delivered are delicious.
Well,
They
good.
really are. Very, very good.
I'll tell you how the fish fillet is today.
Yeah, I won't get one today. Wow. No, the Meals on Wheels program it's fantastic, and it really fills a need in this valley.
And we have room to grow. We have room to grow. We need our
Oh,
funding,
yes.
but we have room to grow, and we want to make sure everybody in the community that needs a meal who's homebound gets one in the Santa Clarita Valley and the Antelope Valley. So give us a call, 661-259-9444.
Absolutely. Well, we need to take a break. And we
right.
will be back in a few moments. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Kevin McDonald, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host and guest, Kevin McDonald, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And let's continue, shall we?
Hey, you know, Barbara, it's a hot one, Santa Clarita this week. I mean, we're into July. It's been pretty cool up till now, but we're hitting the heat, and just want the seniors to know in this community, we're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. So if you need a place to cool down, our air conditionings are mostly all working. So if you want to come and rest and relax and just cool down and have a place to be cool, if your home isn't as good air conditioned as it should be, you can come over to the senior center, and we can also get you something to eat and drink and enjoy a day with some friends there or meet some new friends.
Absolutely, and there are lots of programs that go on there that you can be a part of.
Sure, almost 30 different classes. Albinelli is our director for all of our classes, and constantly thinking of new things to bring in. We're making jewelry one day. We're bringing in driver's ed for another day from the California Highway Patrol. We have a group called TLC, and it's some of our high schoolers come over and they work with us on technology, teaching us how to best use our cell phones and other things, and do a little karaoke at the same time, and just a lot of different things coming in there. And you just got to pick up the sheet of paper and say, wow, what do I want to do? And even in the pool room, if you're a guy and you're hanging out during the day, come and join our pool room. And the billiards room is they got the music playing. I don't even judge that. And they were shooting the pool today and having a good old time. And they're there most of the day. And they're friendly and welcoming group of people. And they become your friends by hanging out. And then they go grab lunch in the middle of the day and come back. So really have some generous and nice people hanging out. And if you want to work out a little bit, we got our fitness center. And I was in there this morning, and there was about 12 people in there, all working out in their own way, shape, or form. And they just want to keep in shape because they want to live longer. So it's about nutrition. It's about keeping in shape, just like our past guests recognized today. with Henry Mayo, and we have a smaller gym at the senior center, but one that can definitely keep active doing that.
And it's so important as you get older to keep moving. It's so easy to sit in a chair,
Right.
turn the TV on, and just sit. And after you've been sitting there for a few hours, you get numb.
Right.
And you have, especially if you're older, trying to get up out of the chair.
You got to.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we got to keep it moving. But as you mentioned earlier, we got a sit and be fit class where you can sit in a chair and do your exercises. We have the Zumba at 3:00, which is rocking and roll, and they're dancing all around the room by that point. We have chair Pilates and a whole bunch of different classes that people can take for a minimal fee. And they're just enjoying the heck out of their day and giving them a new purpose in the day. And you're going to meet some friends, a little food, a little exercise. You can't argue with that.
Yeah, and it gives you a new outlook on life. It really does.
Yeah. It's
Because you think, oh, I'm going to get to see so-and-so today, and we're going to talk about this, that, and the other, like we did before. And it really is. You have to go. You really do.
And we just wrapped up our fiscal year. It ends June 30th, and we had a staff gathering, and to just acknowledge the 116 staff that work at the senior center. 116 great individuals. I have the best leadership team we've ever put together between our Lori, our CFO, and Suzanne Nelson, who's been with us for many years, as you know, as our Chief Program Officer, and all the other department directors. And each individual cares about seniors and wants them to have a special day. So those 116 staff that do so many different things.
But you also have volunteers there.
Yes, over 220 every month just come in to do that. And, Liz Goff was there this morning, and just so many people that walk through our hallways and help us serve seniors with lunch and everything else. We couldn't do without those volunteers.
They're terrific. They really are.
Well, Barbara, we got to wrap up another fun show today.
Good heavens. Where's the time go?
I don't know. But you've been listening to the Senior Hour on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. Now go and enhance your quality of life.
Amen.